The ubiquitous aluminium cooking pot, known locally as a sufuria, is simple in its use, yet quite complex in its production. Crystal Industries Limited produces sufurias and steel kerosene stoves for the East African region. Their environmental resume is outstanding, as most of the factory's output comes from recycled aluminium. The aluminium used in the production process comes from two main sources: imported aluminium ingots and recycled aluminium. The recycled aluminium requires preparation before use on the production line. Scrap aluminium in form of cans, containers, strips, bottle caps, etc. is lumped into this hydraulic compactor to create more manageable scrap blocks. These are then stacked in an orderly fashion, awaiting melting. The scrap metal is then melted at about 750 degrees centigrade in these furnaces. Other metals and impurities are either burnt off or rise to the surface of the molten aluminium, where the dross is removed to reveal the pure aluminium. The molten aluminium is then tapped and poured into these molds, where it cools rapidly. After a few seconds, a workman cracks open the mold and extracts the aluminium ingots, ready for further processing. The recycled ingots must now be worked into sheet metal, and this is done through a series of rolling mills. Due to the pressure and friction of rolling, the aluminium gets very hot, and so they use a water-based solution to lubricate and cool the process. The distance between the cylinders is reduced with each pass of the ingot, progressively decreasing the gauge of the aluminium sheet. The sheets that come out of the first rolling machine have an irregular end. These are cut off using this guillotine. The cut irregular ends are recycled. The aluminium sheets are then rolled again in various mills to obtain the right gauge for the various sizes and shapes of sufurias. The sheets are then cut into smaller squares, which are further cut into circles at this station. All the leftover pieces are then collected and forced into this compactor, ready to be recycled. The familiar deep bowl shape of the sufuria is attained through a process known as drawing. The circular sheet is placed in this hydraulic press, where a piston rams the aluminium into the sufuria mold. This is done with great force, and so, to reduce friction, each sheet is coated with a lubricating fluid. Not every sheet can handle the pressure, and some crack and tear. These are removed and recycled. The rough, unfinished edge of the sufuria is known as a burr, and these are removed at this station, where the sufuria is secured to the rotating machine and spun round at high speed against a steel cutting blade. In a few seconds, the sufuria has a smooth finish. The sufuria is now branded using this rotating block, which imprints the company logo onto the metal. They are then washed in a chemical bath to remove all dirt and grease, giving them a shiny finish. Dried, labeled, stacked, wrapped, and stored away for shipping to your local shops. Aluminium sufurias, made in Kenya.